that likes to be shared? You're so welcome. Nothing has to happen and everything is welcome here.
Meike?
Yes.
Can I then just sit with you?
Eva.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I love that. You're still in Sri Lanka?
Yes. I'm only leaving here July 2nd to Europe.
Oh, okay.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Are you well?
Yes. Yeah. I'm well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Deep exploration going. I mean, I guess there's always a deep exploration going on, so but sometimes it's more obvious and sometimes it's more noticeable when the shifts come in. So yeah, very, very happy to see shifts.
Maybe one thing that I just briefly like to explore, if possible. Not sure if you can hear me well, otherwise I can use my...
Yeah, I can hear you.
Just what I wondered is how sometimes it's like you feel a certain feeling and you want to then, like communicate it, like if you don't like something, and that always automatically comes immediately with the feeling of having to be, that it is wrong or that it is unkind, or well, sometimes, so it's a bit confusing sometimes for me, because like for example Byron Katie, and she also says always from, well, everything in the end is only a certain belief. If you maybe don't like something, or for example people are drunk and I wouldn't like that, and I would just want them to go away, and then I sometimes then my mind starts to like come in and say like, oh, but yeah, but that is only because there's the belief that people shouldn't be drunk, or well, why don't you like that, or is that because you assume that it is wrong, or, and I just wonder how to, yeah, it's so confusing.
I understand. So the mind comes actually only in when there is already confusion in the system, isn't it? Yeah. So when all of that is noticed, just stopping for a moment and coming home, inviting it to come home, just coming back here.
Yeah, I can't solve it on the level of the mind. Like it's no, I tried. No, exactly, it's not. Mm. There's no
It's
answer.
never solvable. Mm, No, not on that level. Mind is good for counting or building things, making constructions. Oh, brilliant. Mind is wonderful. But for feelings, sensations, ah, mind is very, very confusing, isn't it? So actually, when there's sensation or feeling, emotion, whatever it is, what does that want?
In general, or in this case, or
In general, and in
um,
this case,
it wants to be
in
heard.
all the
Yeah.
cases.
Yeah, exactly. It wants to just be felt. Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
It wants to be heard. It doesn't even want
Yeah.
to, or it wants to be received. Can we say it like that? It wants to be stopped for. It's, I'm just seeing a child. When there's something going on in the child, you can call it feelings, sensations, emotions, whatever, but something is going on. And it's all alone by itself. It will freak out, most likely, huh? Because it doesn't know where to go, what to do. But if the mama's there, or a caregiver, or somebody it trusts, it knows, that, and you reach your hand, it will take the hand, it will stop, it will take a breath, and then it moves on. It's more on that level if there's feelings and emotions. So if we come into a situation where there are people that drink or are drunk even, and our system is not used to it, and it creates strange sensations, and we actually want to go away, man, let's see if there's a hand somewhere from somewhere coming and guides us out of that situation. Why should we stay? Why would we stay? Animals are great with that. I mean, I guess I've told that story 1,000 times already. My friend who left his body already, he had these two dogs, David from South Africa, who actually built the retreat center in the Drakensberg. He had these two dogs, and they were just one community, one entity, the three of them. And when he was building, he would sit in his office, and the dogs were always with him. And sometimes, when conversations would happen where an upset was there, so he would just shout on the phone and say, oh, kind of getting things right, and then he would see his dogs both wander out of the office by themselves, no thinking, no confusion. They just somehow didn't like the atmosphere. And he would always notice and say, oh, okay, there they go, off they go, without moaning or anything. And then when it was quiet again, both of them came in back, would sit down and settle again. So that's the natural way when there's no thinking, huh? When you can get out of a situation that's not nurturing you, it moves away. It moves by itself away. It's just when you have a mind and like these animals here, they are a bit more complex. You could say it like more complicated, more complex. Then it's like, oh, should I stay in this situation because I should love everything? I should have all my boundaries overstepped. I should never say no. I should just love everything. And inside that war happens. Huh? Inside of the body is, whoa, something does not feel right here. And then it's not allowed to move. And it's not allowed to move in a healthy way, let's say it like that, in a natural way. So, you know, whenever there's a sensation of something isn't right here, every animal, if it has the chance, gets out of that situation. So that's the animal body. If it can get away, it will. It even, you know, it rather goes away than into a fight. I mean, sometimes it's different. You know, I'm just thinking of, you know, an elephant in must. There are so many hormones and stuff going on. You know, they are so out there that they might go into a fight, or a bull, or I don't know. But only if those chemicals are playing. Normally, you know, if something is weird, an animal gets away, goes away into a situation where that's fine. Sometimes it's just moving a meter. I know that in my own experience. You stand somewhere and it's like, you know, you don't even think. It's just, oh, you go a few meters over and yeah, this is better.
Yeah.
You sit down on this chair and not so good. Go over there. Yeah.
Exactly. That is, it's only, there is no problem at all when it's like that. It only comes, the only, yeah, is if there is like a questioning about it happening, but otherwise it's just, yeah, it's not
It's
not a
just
problem.
moving. Yeah. And even if it can't move, Eva, even if it can't move, it's also not much we can do. How often have we found ourselves in situations where we just couldn't move for
Yeah.
whatever reason? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe because there was confusion, because whatever. So, but there's always that at one point, at least as we explore, and I know that from a lot of our friends, there's always that moment where a noticing happens. And that's when something else can happen. That's when the gentleness can come into itself, towards itself, where it can invite itself to come home here. Yeah, just like this. Yeah. That then it's vulnerable, it's right here, it's leaning into itself. And it reflects itself immediately. You know, just these words coming out here, going all the way somehow through to Sri Lanka and received and reflect. Yeah. Same. It's powerful, isn't it?
Mm. And it's actually, yeah, it's yeah, it's like it's just,
And that's all it's ever
yeah.
longing for.
And
Yeah.
it's so good just to be reminded of that, because immediately then, yeah, it's so funny how that goes in that. Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
If it's receptive for this. Because, you know, these words also can be spoken, or, you know, this energetic can happen and there's no receptor. It's like, whew, and it comes out and it turns into, don't want to say the word. But when it's received, phew, it creates waves in a different way. It's a different invitation.
Thank
So
you.
whenever there's a noticing, you know, whenever, at least that's how my system plays, whenever there's a noticing of something going on, if it's possible, just sitting down for a moment, taking a breath, coming back home, coming back home, coming back here. Yeah, right here. All is well. Right here is always well, isn't it?
Exactly.
Right here is always
Yeah.
home. And then it will go out again attention or whatever it is, it will move again and again. And then when it's seen, when it's noticed, come on back home, come on back home. Like a child when they start crawling, crawling and then they have to look, is mama still there? Is everything okay? Checking, and yes, a little longer, a little more. Simple, so simple. No mind needed for that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because it's that idea of, oh my God, I have to solve this. And then when that falls away, then it's just,
Then it's coming home again. Nothing to solve.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I could sit with you forever. But I will, because I love it so much, but I will mute because then someone else can use it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Meike?
Yes.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Let me see. There, I got you.
No.
Good morning.
Good evening. Love to connect with you.
I love that too. You're so welcome to speak, you know that.
Yeah, I actually have something else I wanted to explore, but I can sense this as my system connects deeply to yours. It's almost like it was scrambling to have this connection, so it feels lost in the system. And then somehow it gets the message again. Oh, okay, it's safe to be here.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I just wanted to explore. The other day, I was just having a very simple conversation working in the garden, and I was expressing what I wanted to my partner, and I can just feel that as this getting to really know her, the little me, so much deeper, and have so much more reverence for her. that I'm able to communicate or at least speak, you know, what I want better, like to ask for things. And I'm noticing that when I am doing that, because before it was just like, oh, I'll go along with whatever anybody's, you know, just to keep peace in life. And so I just made a request, and I could see how that was so unreceived. So it's a sense of being overpowered in what I asked for, and then when he didn't really want to go along with it or to receive it, it's just like this energy that comes. It feels like it comes at me to change what I'm asking, like to say no, it's going to be this way. And I just felt like this sense of overpowering. And then so I sat with that, and I thought, wow, I could see where I would normally just check out and say, all right, whatever, do whatever, it doesn't matter. But it was something that I wanted to do, so I didn't back down. Yay. And I you know, so I was out in the garden working, and then I was reflecting that same sense of being overpowered almost my entire life, overpowered from my father and having to back down, and overpowered even from teachers or just in any situation. And it just felt like I've had to suppress her all, you know, my entire life, and she doesn't want to be suppressed anymore. She wants to say, no, this is what I would.
How wonderful is that? Oh.
Yeah, so it's just that. So I was being with that sense of it, almost like this energy, like holding me down, and her just saying, no, I'm not going to be held down. I can't be anymore.
Wow. Good news.
Yeah. But at the same time, it kind of feels new and scary and sad, because it just felt like, wow, I put up with this shit my whole life. Oh, we all have.
We all have, you know. And what is time in a certain way, you know? It happens when it happens, and then it's in the timeless in a certain way, isn't it? It's like, you know, you learn to ride the bike, and next day, next, isn't it? It's like, yeah,
off and ride.
No interest anymore, or whatever it is. It's just, but for that moment, for this moment, wow, it's in this moment, it's actually not living in the past, in something that is actually not the situation anymore. You know, as little children, we had to keep quiet because it was, you know, it seemed like our survival was threatened.
Yeah.
You know, when our parents went against us, you know, if they hit us, if they beat us up, or just speaking against us, oh, it's like, whoa, that's life-threatening for a young organization. So, but now realizing in present moment that is something that's actually not appropriate right now anymore.
But it brought that sense of you know, there was a strength in doing that. It felt like, and at the same time, there was that shaky ground of all that feeling like, wow, like, you know, I've never done this before. Shit.
Yeah, never done that before. Yeah. Oh, it feels actually very alive.
It feels alive, and it was a bit scary, but at the same time, I was like,
yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what we do. We get on the bike, and it's scary, and at the same time, yeah, you know, we fall over sometimes. You know, some of us fall over, but then we get on again, and then it's wow. It sounds very, very beautiful, and and alive.
It's also new that it just feels like, oh.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's actually the situation when it lives itself in the moment, isn't it? Because it really has no clue what the next moment brings. Instead of something that has been set up a long time ago and repeating that. I mean, sometimes we feel more easy with that, repeating and repeating, and we're bending ourselves and all of that, living in that realm, than the moment by moment by moment, because there we really have no clue. In the pattern, you know, then at least I know, okay, I get beaten up now, you know, or it beats itself up, even if that's not the present moment. It's quite amazing, actually, isn't it? How a pattern repeats itself, even though the situation is a totally different one. But it's very familiar and comfortable in a certain way. Even though, God, we start shouting again, he, she did it again, even if it's not true. Instead of that moment by moment by moment by moment, not having a clue what's next. God, I mean, I know that well in my own experience, of course. Yeah. But when it goes fresh, wow.
Yeah, it just felt really good.
Sounds good, feels good here.
Can I sit with you just a moment and enjoy this deliciousness?
What a joy. Thank you.
Meike?
Yes, that sounds like Judith.
Yes.
I'm sorry that I'm interrupting. Just to let you
Yeah.
know, because Bettina had her hand for quite some time. So we just, it doesn't matter. It's either then.
I don't see
first,
that. Yeah.
No, I understand. That is why I let you know. So would it be okay for Bettina that Bettina
Thank you.
goes
Thank you.
after? Yes,
Thank
that
you,
okay?
Eva.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
Thanks.
Bettina. Still here. It's so beautiful to meet at that place where everything is welcome, isn't it? God, I love it. It's so big, that space, isn't it? Such a big heart, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And it doesn't get lost in it, you know, because space sounds so huge in a way, but it does not. It comes home to itself. Yeah. Every teardrop, every owie, everything welcome there. Yeah. Just a moment where it can rest, and then you notice, and then, ooh, but did you notice? but, yes, it's fine. Come on back home. Yeah, space for it all. I feel so welcome in your heart presence, whatever you are. I feel at home in you.
Same.
also what I love is when there's this clarity of connection, we can serve everything, isn't it? Yeah. But put it somewhere all by itself. But the moment it feels itself connected, we can serve everything. That's, yeah.
Ja, jetzt taucht die Frage wieder auf, was verhindert das?
Now the question comes up, what is stopping it? What is disturbing it? What's hindering it? Yeah.
Und im Grunde weiß ich die Antwort.
And actually, she knows the answer.
Das alles andere ist irgendwie wichtiger oder interessanter oder.
But it seems like everything else is more important or more interesting. Yeah.
Im Moment sehe ich das.
Yeah.
Im Moment.
Right now, she can see that. Yeah. And that's all, that you can see that right now, that we all can see it right now. Phew, that's it. And then, it's practice in a way. It's like, when you want to play the piano, most of us have to practice. You start with one finger maybe, and then two, and then one hand, and then the other hand, and then you use your feet if you play the organ. For some of us it takes forever and ever and ever. Some are quicker, it is practice. It's a learning on the level of biology. It's networking. It's creating patterns constantly. Yeah. So that's why we love coming together, because, and remember, at first it would take much longer to come back to itself. And now, so it has learned so much already. It's so incredibly intelligent, this, whatever this is. Isn't it? It's, yeah. And we can't, it's just simple words in a way, because the mind can't really put it together. Yeah. It's much too simple. For the mind, everything has to be very complicated and complex. It needs to be one book, one big book. Yeah.
Darf ich noch mal eine praktische Frage stellen?
She wants a practical question. I hear you.
Es ist sehr eindeutig, wo die Sehnsucht hingeht.
So it's very clear where the longing goes to.
Und im Leben, also im Leben,
and in life,
ist dieser Überlebenskampf oder das Bemühen um Geld zum Beispiel.
Yeah, the fight for survival, for money.
Und jetzt hast du wieder gesagt, dass es Übung braucht. Also
now I said it needs practice.
Und dann ist wieder hier diese Verwirrung oder diese, ja, wenn ich mich aber jetzt kümmern muss um Geld oder eine andere Arbeit oder.
Then there comes the confusion. okay if I have to take care about money or different work.
Eigentlich will ich nur hier sein.
Actually, I want to just be here. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I so understand. Mm. 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 You know, I guess that's why all the, you know, in Asia especially, there are all these sadhus in India. They renounced anything. They, you know, they just walk naked somewhere in the bush. They don't want to have anything to do with this. So, you know, I really understand. I really understand. Mm. It's exhausting. Mm. And then let's just come back home for a moment again. Yeah. 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 So slowly, so gently. Here we are again. Yeah. Good old buddies. Been around the block forever. And here we meet again. Yeah. You know, from here, what can happen to us? We've been everywhere. We've been in every hell. We've seen all the dark spots, and I mean, you know, we've been tortured, we've been burned, we've been raped, we've been killed, we've been on the other side, we've been the killer, we've been the rapist, we've been, I mean, we know it all. We know everything. Yeah. So, you know, yeah. And then gratitude for meeting ourselves here at home. Yeah. Getting this reflection, huh? Vulnerable, tender, gentle, loving, huge. Yeah. So at home in each other. It will move again, Bettina. It, you know, it's that's what all the so-called sages also have discovered. I mean, look at Jesus, look at Buddha, look at, I mean, you know, don't have many more names, but, and that's centuries, that's forever, forever. We've been exploring this forever and ever and ever. Yeah, here we are again. Always. You know, and even with these, that's the good thing. That's why YouTube is so good. You can watch it. You can look it up again. Doesn't matter. It's might be old, but it's never old because home is, yeah. This is always available. Yeah. And others too, you know. This is, yeah, wherever it finds itself, getting a sense of home, use it. Let that be our practice, if there's a practice. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly here. Oh.
Thank you so much.
Oh, God, kissing from the inside out and from the outside in. Thank you.
Yes. And thank you, Eva, for helping me. And thank you, Judith. And thank you all. So great.
Judith. Goedemorgen.
Goedemorgen.
Or is it afternoon already?
Afternoon.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
already
it's
afternoon. Okay.
Good evening to you.
Pretty quiet, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm.
And cool. And I also have, I really would like your comment on the female side.
On the what? Say
On
again.
the female side, around relationship, and breaking the chain.
Yeah.
And having spoken with Isaac in Africa on retreat about our relationship and the prison ship and the entanglement and the feeling of needing to let it go, or the reflection from Isaac of needing to let it go. And my sense from my side is that I don't believe so much in giving each other freedom in exploring different relating. And for me, it feels more the depth of longing for profundity in meeting.
Longing for what?
The depth of profundity in meeting.
Okay.
So that there is, I would say my longing is really to have a relating where there is a possibility of meeting deep. And I don't see that can happen, or still the longing to have that with Maarten. Actually.
Yeah.
And not like, okay, when I don't feel my needs are fulfilled there, I need to go somewhere else. So I guess my exploration is more like, how can we come out of entanglement?
Somehow, what I see with Isaac and myself is our being together is being about exploration from the get-go. That's his passion and that's my passion. But then, you know, also entanglement happened. And that was a bit shocking because I didn't think of that. You know, I thought, wow, this is, we're in exploration, you know. But then all of a sudden, I said, oh my God, what is this? I didn't sign up for this. I don't want this, but I don't know how to get out of it anymore. And that was for both of us in a way. So life found a way. Life found a way. And now, for me personally, it's been one of the biggest gifts in my life, what's happening now. Even though it's been hell, golly gosh, I've met places that I didn't know that I really didn't know, that I did not have explored, because it was so comfortable in the discomfort.
Yeah.
And it was so hanging on to it. It didn't know how to get out of it. It just had no clue how to get out, because our lives were so entangled. I mean, at first, when I stopped traveling with Isaac together, it felt like I had lost my whole tribe, you know, because I lost my whole life. I lost all my people. I lost my partner or my beloved. I lost everything, and I had to lose it all. But it was, whoa, it was strong. And now it's receiving, after a few years, it's receiving the gifts. It's harvesting the fruit of that. Because there was something in the system, and it must be both sides, but I can only speak from this side, that had, and that's the entanglement, that's the pattern, it had given itself away. And in that giving itself away, when that wasn't there anymore, it felt totally lost. It was, what the heck now? Absolutely empty, a huge hole, lost. And now it's like as if it is coming back for itself. There has been such a dislike towards itself, it didn't even know that. At the core of the core of the core, there was a dislike towards itself. So it was easier to give itself away than to face that. And that's the gift. It's coming back. It's filling itself up from the inside out. Instead of constantly, giving itself away because it can't be at home. It doesn't even know what really home is. It knows it to a certain degree, but in the depths of the depths of the depths, it didn't know that. And it's coming back to itself. So from here, relationship is not even interesting anymore. It comes into a relationship, if there's something like that, with itself for the first time, Judith. And there's, I guess there's always more to go. There's always more to go.
Yes.
But it seems it is able to meet facets of itself where nobody ever has shown up. It's meeting its own heart, its own heartbeat. And here, again, there is no longing, it's home. It's not going away from itself, let's say it like that. If, like hanging out like this, I can't tell you how beautiful that is. And sharing like this, sharing the innermost. But it's not this, and that's what it has done for so long, and I can see it through the lineage, I can see it in the collective, I see it everywhere. It is moving towards itself now instead of giving itself away. And it had to do it for whatever reason. So relationship is not interesting anymore. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't like, togetherness, connection, because, oh God. But here there is connection. So with Isaac and myself, and it's just starting to open up because I can see how my system is still exploring. It's so quick that it wants to hook into that old pathway. And, having an opinion or a heartbreak around, God, I'm replaced, or immediately he has another one, or, it could not be more classic, the whole story, isn't it? It's like a movie. It's like, what the heck?
Absolutely.
And coming back here,
you will meet all the classical ways. Just, you will meet everything.
Everything, yeah. So, the biggest gift of my life, I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that nothing touches, just it rips and rips and rips. And it is more welcome than ever. And blessings. Yeah. So, who knows? Maybe, next moment somebody walks in here and, let's cruise together. Who knows? Maybe it's even Isaac. Who knows? But the shift is, it doesn't matter. if somebody
That's
comes,
a good place to be, huh? That's
it's free,
a very good place to
free and at home.
be.
Mm. And shaky while it's speaking this, because I mean, it has never spoken it like this, and it's, I can just sense how it's releasing and doing new neural pathways. So thank you for this inspiration.
Yes, thank you for sharing. And I'm with you also
I
when it's
know,
shaky.
I know. There are so many angels around, and the connection is, aloneness is
Shall we
over.
just sit? Shall we sit quietly?
Yes, with pleasure.
I would love.
Yes,
I would love.
with pleasure.
Yes, it's a touching, vulnerable story that you tell us.
It is.
And I'm very happy to receive it and to hear it. So I'm grateful that you speak. You know, energetically, I felt your depth of your whole process. And it's so satisfying also to hear you speaking. That's both coming together.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it gives you also the humanness and the vulnerability.
All of it.
And all. It makes it whole. I'm really feel honored to hear this.
Oh, and I love that you ask. Yeah. It's rare that somebody asks.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm always amazed, but yeah.
That is also because I have a deep interest in you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm interested. I like to meet you in the depth of your being.
Yeah.
And, that is the beauty of exchange.
Yeah. Amen. And we've been God, we've been traveling together so long already.
So
Yeah,
long.
yeah. Could be also a relationship, huh?
Oh yes, definitely. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also to hear the female side.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, we both have Isaac has to obviously has to explore differently than I have. Yeah.
Yes.
And the biggest gift in it all is that we have been able to stay connected. We have not been pushing each other, or there is, it's, I mean, how to say, such a, we have met so deeply that is unshakable.
Yes.
Yeah, that what shakes is all that other stuff. It's also wobbles, but that which is real between us is unshakable. And it does not mean that we have to live together or that we have to do anything together. And I know it's unshakable. That's amazing, isn't it? Just speaking is like, whoa, that comes out of my mouth. Wow. Yeah.
Quite amazing.
And I would not, you know, on another level, I would not always say, oh, I like what he's doing. Not at all. You know, it's not, but one thing doesn't have to do with the other. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you,
so
Judith. Yeah. Did you enjoy your time in Africa?
The retreat, I found really a difficult retreat. That was a challenge. It was not an easy week. We were in a group with also quite some young people. And
with some young people, or what did you say?
Yeah, young in the teaching from Isa.
Oh, okay.
There were Brett was there actually as a teacher role with people around him.
Oh.
So it took a long time before the field became one whole organism. Often it had the feeling of there's a circle within the circle.
Oh, I see.
And I also see that has been a challenge for Isaac to calm the system and the whole field down. Because it was a challenging week.
Okay.
Definitely. And the week after became a beautiful, and also then the relationship that was questioned and was on the point of needing to separate. And the second week, for the first time, we stayed a week longer, and we would do Cape Town. So then, when the relationship came into question, it was, oh my God, what now? Are we going to Cape Town? So then that was all shaky.
Yeah.
But then we went. And it has been very good for us to just do something else together. And Carly was our guide the whole week. So it has been an amazing
Oh, wonderful. Happy to hear.
Yeah. And I must say then this week we came back on Monday, and then I really needed to go down again. Oh, what now? And how do we stay out of those patterns, which we will not stay out? And so coming back in real life.
Wishing you an easy exploration together.
Landing and see. Thank you, Meike.
Lots of love, Judith.
Yeah, lots of love to you.
Thank you.
And so much thanks for your story. I really appreciate it.
So welcome.
I mute myself.
Meike?
Yeah?
I would love to connect.
Oh, Verisha.
sweetie. Mm.
Oh, sweetie. Yeah. Hello. You were in Finland?
Yes.
Mm.
How exciting the system is. Wow.
Ah.
Wow. Mm.
Mm.
So you say it's possible to come out of this feeling of aloneness.
Let's be with that feeling together.
Hmm. We are already together in this sense.
Let's take it under our wing. Aloneness. Let's tickle it a bit.
So life moved me here to really feel this aloneness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know it's seems personal,
Mm.
and it's not. It's both. It's personal and it's impersonal.
Mhm.
So what I've explored in these last weeks, months, is that noticing of whenever it moves away from itself. And whenever I would notice, oh, there it goes, like I would invite it back home. With all the tears, with all the aches, with all the pains, with all the heartbreak, I would sit with that. And sometimes when it felt too alone, when it seemed like I can't sit with that, I would take a mirror and I would look into my own eyes,
Oh.
just to get the reflection of myself.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then it was like as if I could be present with myself just through the eyes. And I would sit forever and ever looking into my own eyes and would see how my face was changing through all ages, through all states of timeless beauty. And that full heart would reflect itself. And aloneness would take a seat there. You know, and funny enough, with that mirror, how it seemed was as if the absolute, as if emptiness would meet fullness. It would reflect itself. It was quite interesting. But I mean, you know, that was just one of those explorations. All of a sudden that came in was like, oh, where can I go? Where can I go? Nowhere to go, so I have to sit here. It's like, wow, let me see how that looks. I was like, oh, wow. Falling into my own eyes without looking, you know, with the whiteness in the eyes. When it doesn't look for mistakes or wrinkles or you know, when it just falls into itself. Just like this, when it gets that clear reflection of itself, backwards and forwards. Mm.
And what to do with all the health problems and anxiety and depressions and
Just sit with it.
Yeah. Take it all under your wing. Invite it all to come home. You know, these bodies will go to dust again. They will. And what remains, we will see. I mean, so far it seems like it recycles itself in the movement of life. And something is always there, and that's what we see when we really deeply connect, isn't it? Yeah. There we see all the broken legs, all the cancer, all the aches and pains and owies, and we're just there, holding hands in that. What else can we do? And we, of course, if there's anything that we can do, like, you know, a medicine or whatever it is, of course, then we do that. We've always done that. Can't make a mistake, Resha. We can't make a mistake.
But one day you are so tired, you know, of trying it. Doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. Then you come home. Lean your head right here. I stroke your hair. And rest. Let's rest together. Yeah. I love seeing this. I love receiving this. I love feeling it. Yeah. 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 Letting it do its thing. Some thoughts come in again. They can also come here under my wing. Under the blankie, but when it's warm where you are. I can see here, you know, I got my woolly on. Winter.
Die Widderflügel, ne?
All is welcome here with us. How lucky is that? All the struggle.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that this is possible with you, Meike.
Yeah, me too, that it's possible with you, Varesha. Yeah, that it's possible with us, that we can come together like this, huh? That we can drink of each other from that source that can never be empty.
I drink your home.
Yes, I drink yours. Schlürf.
You go on doing this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, this the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if life wants it, but you know, that's the thing with life.
I know.
I also thought other things I would do forever, and whoop-de-whoop, you know, nope. Life has its sense of humor there, so I can't promise anything, but it seems like
In the moment.
in the moment it looks like that.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm always with you. You know it.
I know. I'm always with you too, you know. Huh? Yeah. Lucky us.
Yes.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.
Oh, so rich being with you all. Wow.
Meike?
Yeah. Guitar. Oh.
They're looking at Verisha.
Maybe I should talk a little bit. Then do I appear?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Feeling a bit
Shaky.
more like just like electrified or something. I don't know whether it is that, but before when you mentioned
We've been everything. Oh yeah, I can feel it now. There was quite a deep touch. And the sense of like, oh, that soul wants to be held.
Yeah. Oh, let's
And
hold it.
so I felt that maybe like my system can't do it on its own. So big and so beyond me.
Yeah. It needs all of us.
Yeah, and there was such a longing for that to be held in love.
Letting it know we are here. We're finally stopping for this. Yeah.
No, and it's Princeton somehow. I don't know the English. Here in Germany, we're having 2 days holidays. It's Princeton.
Yeah, I also don't know what is it in English. Anyway, it's a Christian holiday. I even forgot what happened then.
I think
Yeah.
something about the Holy
Ah,
Ghost.
did Jesus go? No, that was Easter, huh? When he went up again. I don't know. Anyway, so, something is a Christian holiday. I mean, isn't it amazing how life kind of put us into the situation to invite everything to come home?
I was so touched by the whole meeting today, Meike. I mean, it was spoken about different times in your story as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
I so love the courage of each of us to stop and look it into the eyes, whatever has never been stopped for. No doing, no pushing, no pulling, no, it's just, I'm finally showing up for myself. It's so funny when you hear the mind speak it, it's like, God, doesn't make sense. But on another level, it's wow.
I mean, for this system, it was like, oops. It's like, I don't know, you can't even really let it in.
Yeah.
It's like,
and even that is all right. Because it shows us how it can be received. If it needs a break, that is totally fine. It shows us how it needs to move. And we are We are just here. We are just here. So no push, no pull. If it needs a little bit of time, it can have the time. If it's too much, we stop. Yeah, see, it likes it. It's reacting immediately. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like,
Yeah, it's a relief.
it's a relief.
Mm. Mm. Doesn't have to perform. Nothing has to perform here. It doesn't even have to look into each other's eyes or face. Or I just want to mention that too. Even, you know, we have the screen, but even that does not have to happen.
Yeah, thank you. It's fascinating though, because I had this, you know what you described with the mirror?
Mm.
I had that with your face today a lot. Uh, Sorry, but definitely some whatever information that
It's downloading itself. No, it's so beautiful to sit with you.
I don't know, feels a bit. Oh,
Just slowing it down. Guitar.
yeah, it's sweat coming now and heart beating and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, really slowly, slowly, so gently. You know, whatever, and that's what I've seen also with that mirror process. I mean, just with every process in a way, I could see it. It had it had to leave itself for whatever reason, and to invite it back in, you know, it has to go so slowly because, you know, it hasn't been easy for it to stay. So it's like if it's been invited to come back home, it has to go so gently and slowly. The invitation has to be so clear and clean. Otherwise, it rather, you know, it hides behind the house and behind the trees and wherever.
Yeah.
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 It has to.
Yeah.
So, you know, that it's just peeking around the corner and say, well, you know, and senses that there is a possibility to come back home is huge. So just that we let it know, we see it, we know about it. That's huge.
It's, you know, so precious and rare in a way.
So rare. Mhm.
Good to hear that, also the words now. Yeah.
Thanks for hearing it.
Something like that, yeah. Something understand.
Yes.
And I can, right now it's like I'm seeing this, there is this ancient wisdom that knows it all.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that ancient knowledge never pushes or uses any effort.
Wow, Meike.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
So exquisite how it's reflecting itself, huh? How it's responding to itself. I just love it. I guess that was just for me.
Well, it's connection though, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not, I mean, it's
Exactly.
maybe oneself, I don't really know, but
it's connection.
very much
Yes.
it's a communication with one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, danke schön.
Danke dir. Please, you and Eva, keep doing it. I can't participate every time you do it because it's Sunday sometimes, but please keep doing it.
Yes, I do. I do. As long as Eva is doing the grounding, then I will show up. I love it. I love being with you all.
Actually wonder then if I can, oh sorry, but for that,
Yeah.
because to is once a month a good frequency, or actually maybe more often, like every 3 weeks, or?
We need a response.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
once a month we can plan it in.
Yeah.
But it could also be once in the 2 weeks, but then 2 hours, not a whole intensive weekend, but more like a frequency of 2 hours. And then,
like every 2 weeks, 2 hours?
Yeah, for example, I would love.
Oh, I would love it too. I'm absolutely open
because
to that.
then you have the frequency that it is not too long. You have the support, and 2 hours in a weekend is just beautiful.
Wonderful.
You still have time enough around it. That's my idea.
We will see, it will be, we will see how the response is. Let's try it. And if nobody's showing up, or only one or two, you know, then we
know.
don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
then
then
we
we
know.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm open to it. Because I love meeting you all very, very much.
Me too.
A regular time anyway would be nice. Just a regular time.
I could not hear, somebody was speaking something, I could not hear it.
Yeah,
It is
and you?
Simon.
she dropped out.
Yeah.
And I was just saying,
Yeah.
oh, did I? I was just saying that as long as you all can determine a regular time would be lovely.
What is a regular time?
Once a month, twice a month, like
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
To meet.
Twice a month. Yeah.
Regularly.
Once, twice.
Yeah. Good. We'll do that.
So sorry that I interrupted. Rita, maybe you want to, because you were still on the end of your exploration. So, but it was just like a
Everything is fine.
Yeah.
All is well. And we've come to our end already. Is everybody okay? Everything all right? Some thumbs. There are some thumbs. Nice. Mwah. God, it's, you guys are beautiful. Mwah. You're kissing the thumbs. Hearts. Love and peace.
Thank you
Until
so
we
much,
meet again.
everyone. If you want, you can unmute yourself. If you want to say something.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Meike. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Ciao. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Ciao.
Bettina. Bye.